Hello, everybody. Hope, you're all doing well. So, this is the end of Variety Week, but we're starting it up. We're ending it off with something very, very special, as you can kind of see. I'm sorry, guys. It has been so long since I heard this title screen music. It's just bringing all the memories back. I fucking love this game, guys. I love this game a lot. Hey, Mochi, how's it going, buddy? So, what we are going through today, and we'll be continuing to go through until it is finished, which probably won't take very long, is a Katawa Shoujo mod. As crazy as that is to think, this is a mod to Katawa Shoujo. Specifically, this is Katawa Shoujo Stories Beyond, which is the goal of the creators of this one is to take a bunch of very popular and well-known fan fictions and just adapt them into the visual novel format. A lot of them were written kind of like that in mind. At least a few of them were, even having points where it's like, okay, start playing this track here from, the soundtrack to really kind of really get you into that mood. So I'm excited to see where this is going. And you doing good? Good. Yeah, it is finally time. I have a little command set up. I hope that's what I called it. Yes. There we go. There we go. There we go. So there's my little mini command for anyone that is curious. So we got a link to the Stories Beyond webpage itself, where you can download it and get all the little mini info they have. And as well as, I have the link to the original fanfiction of the story we're actually going to be playing through. The original Learning to Fly, thing. I finally got a new Nikkei today, it's top tiered. Nice. Nice. I believe I got her name right there, yeah. So yeah, I have this command now. Whenever I play this, I will have that command in the title, which we'll see. Right now, currently, there is only one thing on this mod, and that is Act 1 of Learning to Fly. That's all they have done at the moment. They are working on getting Act 2 transcribed and thrown into this as well. They also want to do a few more, so there could be some times in the future where we come back to Stories Beyond, just to see what they add in. But you know what? I'm okay with just Act 1 for now. It's essentially a demo. That's why I just called it a demo. We basically have a demo for a Katawa Shoujo mod. We have the entirety of Act 1 of a pseudo route. Why is it a pseudo route? Well, it's not an official route. That's why it's a pseudo route. That's all I got for you guys there. There's some good fun to go through. Yep. Yeah, it might be short, but it'll still be fun to go through. I think the guy who made it himself said it would probably take about 2.5 hours, potentially, maybe a little longer. Knowing us, it'll take us a tad bit longer because we like to stop and talk, which is fine. So it should be able to do it within potentially 2 streams, maybe more. Never know. We'll see. We'll see how this goes, and we'll really we're dipping our toes into the burgeoning of, more or less official mod community now. I mean, it had mods before, but the creators weren't exactly, okay with mods back then. Now they are just like, it's fine. Just make sure you credit, make sure you credit people properly. Credit us for, all the shit in the main game. Credit for the music, where applicable. Don't just eliminate us entirely from your credits.
Yes, we all agree. Baron is an idiot.
There you go. Now you know what it is. So yeah, just to give a little more kind of backstory-ish thing on here, even though it was already in my little description there. And my tiny little command there, KS mod. So, we are going to be playing through Act 1 of Learning to Fly. What is Learning to Fly? It is a ongoing fanfiction based around an April Fool's character for Katawa Shoujo. An April Fool's character. No, I'm not making that up. As part of an April Fool's Day joke, the devs, Forley Studios, announced that they would be adding 2 new characters to Katawa Shoujo. Well, one of them being the focus of this mod, Saki Inamoto. Yeah. It was just a complete joke. They weren't actually going to add them, but they gave just enough to kind of get an idea of what they'd be like, even what kind of disabilities they had. The other girl had a heart issue like Sao did. And Saki herself has some type of muscle disorder, where she is slowly going to start losing finer muscle control and will eventually die from it. Just because, well, she doesn't exactly control what her muscles do, and guess what? Muscles do a lot. If you can't move them, things are going to go down. Wait, so the girls in here will be new? I think there are a few new characters. I have never read it, but presumably some of the other girls will at least show up from time to time. But again, this is an entire fan fiction centered around an April Fool's Day character that is ongoing and posted on the Katawa Shoujo forum boards. The boards. They're old ass, forums. That are still up and running, apparently. The first... My god. Just... My god. The first chapter of this, by the way, just so everyone knows, was posted November 28th, 2013. Katawa Shoujo, for reference, was released January 4th, 2012. It is still ongoing. It is not done yet. It is not done. They have been writing it all of this time. They literally have this entire time, the entire so many years, they have still been writing. One of the last updates they made, they said it would be finished soon. Like last year, what was the last time they dropped let's see. When did he drop a new one? The last time he made an update, or I'm presuming he, was March 14th, 2020. I believe. I could be wrong. Let me just keep looking here. There's a lot to go through. I could be very, very wrong about that. Or was it in here? I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to go through these forum posts. Because he makes some, obviously things every now and again. Oh no, the last time we made an update was April 6th, I believe? Was it April 6th? It's very easy to find their forum posts because they use Saki as their profile picture. Okay, yes, the last update they had given was in April 6th, 2022. And they were basically just kind of giving an update on, well, their life, because they went through some stuff a little bit, within, that, year previous from that one. Just to kind of make sure everyone's, you know, okay. Just to make sure everyone knows, like, I'm okay. It's okay. I'm going to be finishing this kind of thing. And in it here, around here, I believe he said there'd be about 2 or 3 more chapters to go, and then it'll be done. So, who knows? Maybe it'll be done, you know, within the next year? Potentially? They know they're at the end. They know they're toward the end. They're finishing up Act 4, which is just absolutely amazing. I cannot applaud them so much more. Like, so much. Like, Eurobeat Jester, you absolute mad lad. You've been keeping on this story for so damn long. It's like as old as the game itself. So kudos. Kudos to you. Just gonna look at the Stories Beyond webpage real quick. Yeah, a lot of what they're doing this mostly just off of with their free time, money they can get, and any money they get from Patreon. So there might not be a lot of sprites here and there, a lot of very unique ones. I think they have a bunch for Saki, which is good. I think they're still working on getting more for 2 other characters that are going to be in the game. So it is still a work in progress, but that's fine. They seem very you know, enthusiastic about this. I mean, hell, they made an entire webpage for this. They're working on learning to fly. They're gonna do an Emmy epilogue. They want to do the Hanako epilogue, and putting it all into one location is actually a great idea. Honestly, putting all these different fan fictions transcribed into VNs into one easy to access platform like this is probably the best idea ever. When you want to add something to it, it's like, okay, just download the new updated version. Save all your shit. There you go. It's all still there, plus you get some more. We have all of our wonderful options. No turning off the scenes, though, because, you know, all the special scenes, because there aren't any of those here. Also, apparently they have the game in French. That's something. They even have an upcoming just saying what's coming next. Current content, all we have in this right now, because this is version 1.0, is just Act 1 of Learning to Fly. Future contents, the Emmy epilogue, Act 2 of Learning to Fly, Hanako epilogue, possibly, and then a link to their Patreon. What else we got? Crediting their artists, storing, programming, translations, proofreading, all that stuff. I believe Mountaineer might be the person who wrote the Emmy epilogue they want to do. And obviously Eurojester or Eurobeat Jester is the Learning to Fly writer. Yeah, very small team. Excluding the story is just the art, programming, translation, and proofread. That's the Stories Beyond team right there. It's even smaller than the Forley Studios team. If that's if you can even believe that. Okay, what is help? Oh, just What is self-voice? Renpai supports self-voicing mode in which speech synthesizers. Oh my god. Okay, they stepped themselves up. They added it. Okay, I think they're using the remastered Katawa Shoujo build that uses a newer version of Renpai, so they're able to add more shit in. So, well, there you go. There's now a self-voicing thing for the visually impaired. That is handy. That is super handy. So, wow. Opens accessibility menu. Huh. Okay. Okay. I'm actually even more impressed. They now have more accessibility options for anyone that wants to try to get into this. This potentially is also a holdover from the remastered version, I would assume. But this is nice to see. You got change the size of the text, change the font. They have the dyslexic text. That's nice. That's really nice. Wow, just wow. Just yeah, I'm actually really impressed with this. I'm still on the title screen and I'm already impressed, guys. What does that say about me? Am I easily impressed? Yes. Do I care? No. I don't care that I'm easily impressed. I'm impressed for a reason, because goddamn. Anyway, I think I've talked enough now. I've bored you guys to tears. Everything's showing up properly, right? Yes, perfect. So, yeah, we're gonna start this thing. And this is the easiest way they could have done this, too. Also, just, which mod or story do you want to actually go through? Click this to open it. That is also a very good way to do it. So I don't have to play through the base game. The base game is not in this mod. It isn't here. It just has, you know, the specific stories. So I don't have to, like, speed run through the base game to get to a certain point and click a brand new option kind of thing. This just plops us right into where the story begins. It got the tabs for what's gonna happen next. I can click them. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. They're just there. They're just buttons that lead back to here. They're just in a loop. But learning to fly is not. So here we go, guys. Katawa Shoujo. Learning to fry. Saki pseudo route. This takes place in Act 1, immediately after the scene It Builds Character, where Hisao has a conversation with Muto about learning to deal with the disabilities of the other students. Okay, and that's also very handy right here, too. It literally tells us where in the story this starts. Where is It Builds Character? Let's see how far into the story it is. Builds Character, Katawa Shoujo. I don't need the transcript. Or do I? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The 15th scene in the entire game. Yeah. Yeah, right as Act 1 starts, the 15th scene, literally in Hisao's third day at the school. All of Act 1 takes place, I believe, yeah, literally like in the span of a week. So this is in the middle of the week. This is halfway through his first week here at Yamaku. And oh my god, I get to say that again. We're back at Yamaku Academy, guys. So, at this point in the story, Hisao is still kind of trying to get used to this brand new school. Has he met everybody? I'm trying to think. Has he met everybody yet? No, this is before... What's the end of Its Build Character talking about? Okay, to give even more context about that, this is after he was talking with Muto about, you know, getting used to the school and everything, and, you know, the disabilities of everybody else. At the same time, this is also when he was kind of drafted to help gather supplies for Misha and Shizune for, the festival that's coming up at the end of the week. So it's after this scene that he would normally go into the art room and meet Rin. So I guess we're not meeting Rin this time. Which, to be perfectly honest, I'm okay with that. I don't really like Rin all that much. I really don't like Rin, so it looks like he's definitely met Emmy already. All right, he's met Shizune, he's met Emmy, he's met Lily, he's at least seen Hanako. Okay, so he's seen everybody but Rin at this point. He's halfway through it. He's very much still kind of depressed because, his life has been turned upside down. I have this heart condition. I nearly died. I could die at any moment. Woe is me. That's Hisao's mindset right now. Gotta get back into that mindset of just everything sucks. Also, Kenji's a thing. I forgot about him. I think he shows up in this too, so yay, more Kenji. So yeah, immediately after Bill's character, Rosai has a conversation with Muto about dealing with the disabilities of other students. Okay, Misha barges in and asks for help finding plywood and other supplies, and Muto encourages Hisao to give her a hand. Instead of heading down to the right to the art room, where he meets Rin, he instead decides to start his search in a different area. Alright, so we got a bit of an AU happening right here. It's as if they added one more choice, like go to the left or go to the right. And this time, Hisao went to the left. Alright, here we go, guys. And I'm at a loss for where to go. Overall, it's not that bad. I just got here to Yamaku a few days ago, and with the process of settling in, I haven't had much of a chance to look around the campus yet. God, seeing this shit again is just... the feels, guys! This is bringing back so many goddamn memories. Add into the music and Jesus Christ. Feels like baby streamer Baron again, playing through Katawa. Ever since I introduced myself to the class, Shizune and Misha seem to have been monopolizing what little free time I have. I appreciate them making the effort to make me feel welcome, but it can be more than a little exhausting. This time, though, I'm thankful for their interruption. Misha barging in saved me from what was shaping up to be a fairly uncomfortable conversation with Muto. Not knowing what else to do, I decided to help Misha find what she needed, without stopping to think how much knowledge of my surroundings I would need to actually do this. Thus, the reason I'm wandering aimlessly around campus. I find myself actually enjoying the walk around the grounds. I haven't been able to do much walking at all in the last few months, and the afternoon sun on my skin and slight breeze running over me make me close my eyes and inhale the clean air deeply in appreciation. It's such a stark contrast from the environment that was my existence until only recently. The overly filtered, sterile air that always had an undertone of harsh chemicals and antiseptic, and the precisely controlled temperature with no variation at all. When was the last time I did this? Feels like a lifetime ago. I let my breath out in a heavy sigh, opening my eyes to look around and take stock. Yamaku is actually larger than one would think a normal school would be, and much larger than my old one. I'm not sure just how large it is yet. I've seen glimpses of a running track and athletic field out of the window in class, and there are a few other buildings scattered around the garden than just the dorms and the two I've been in. I know the important things, like my classroom in the main building, the dorms, the cafeteria, and the nurse's office in one of the auxiliary buildings. The nurse and the dynamic duo mentioned something about a swimming pool as well. Maybe I'll find it if I keep wandering around. As I walk down the pathway toward the building that houses the nurse's office, I begin to think a bit more about the school and the people I've met so far, reflecting on Muto's words. I stumbled in on Lily, and that was pretty nice, actually. Of course, Lily is best girl. It was the first time since I got to Yamaku that I actually was able to let my guard down and relax a bit. I had a very brief conversation with Hanako in the library, and then spoke with Yuko, who can only be described as intriguing. And there's Kenji. I decided I don't want to think about Kenji right now. I decided it would probably be wise to follow that policy as much as possible in the future. Oh my god, fucking Kenji. Ah. I'm sure if he were to read that sentence, he would think it was also some kind of feminist plot. They already got to him. He's been... My neighbor has been compromised. Oh, new one. We actually got a new background. Matches the style pretty well. Stop in front of the auxiliary building, next to a large tree planted in a hole in the concrete sidewalk. There are a few here in a line, almost as if forming a barrier between this building and the rest of the school. I see a few students milling about by themselves, or casually talking in groups of 2 or 3. Another glance at the front of the building has me seeing a sign emblazoned over the main entrance that I didn't notice yesterday. Performing Arts Center, huh? I can't see how I missed that earlier. I looked down at the list Misha had given me, giving it a thorough read for the first time. I scratched my head while taking a moment to ponder. This is the Performing Arts Wing. Maybe if Yamaku has a theater department, they'll have some plywood for their sets, or know where to get some. Okay, that's some good logic. Alright. If I'm lucky, I'll find an art classroom here as well, since Shizune specifies she needed no less than 5 different colors of paint. I think we're already introduced to Saki, guys. I think we're already here. I don't know what kind of a voice to give Saki. I'll have to work on it as we play. See how it goes. I think I can. Yeah. I'm gonna turn the filter off on my mic now, just so it catches everything I say. So you might hear some more background noise, like we have a dehumidifier going, but that's what's been going on for a little while now. And you guys haven't really noticed too much, or said much, which, thank you for that. Excuse me. Are you lost? Oh, new music too! Nice! Startled out of my musings, I turn around and see the source of the voice. One of the female students is staring at me with a slightly quizzical amused look on her face. I guess I am. I'm new here. Ooh. Okay, I like this music. I like this. What are you looking for? She asks, not unkindly, with a quick look down at the paper I'm holding. Her head tilts to the side for a second, waiting for a response. It certainly can't hurt to ask. I guess I'm an errand boy for the student council right now. They sent me to fetch a few things they need for the festival stall, and I'm trying to figure out where to find them. She gives a small nod of acknowledgement and holds out her free hand expectantly for the list. As I give it to her, I get a few seconds to look at her and see why she only has one free hand. She's a few centimeters shorter than me, with a cute face framed by light chestnut hair that reaches down just past her shoulders. She's wearing the standard Yamaku uniform, but instead of white stockings like Lily or black stockings like Hanako, she's wearing a pair of dark black socks that come up just below her knees and standard brown shoes, which aren't alone in touching the ground. My eyes shift to her left hand and the cane she holds. Unlike Lily's, which is very skinny and used for guidance, this one looks like it's built more for support, especially from the fact the loop on the handle is firmly encircling her wrist. The most striking feature, though, are a pair of honey-colored eyes peeking out from under her neatly brushed bangs. This is some decent writing so far, just for describing her. They're filled with an eagerness and intensity as they fly over the paper, practically twinkling as the gears in her brain turn. Well, you could probably find most of this in one of the art rooms. She fixes that gaze on me and hands me the list back. It's said lightly, but that look of amusement hasn't left her eyes yet. Strangely, I find it disarming. I thought as much, but I'm not quite sure where that is. Thought it might be in this building, since it says Arts right in the title. A lot of people think that, but this isn't where the art rooms are. This is for the theater and musical departments. Drama, band, things like that. That's why the side of the building is so large. That's the main auditorium for different performances and school assemblies. We call it the PAC for short. Okay, cool. We're building a little more of Yamaku here. We knew there were other buildings in this school. So, okay, you know what? Okay, we actually have a place that can hold assemblies and stuff. That's something. We also know there's a pool here somewhere. She brushes a stray lock of hair back over her ear, revealing a small red earring dangling down. There's also the main medical offices at the other end. Ah, yeah. I've already met the nurse. He's interesting. Oh, wow, that smile. Oh, you don't know the half of it. He has a bit of a reputation around here. By the way, I can show you where the main art room is. I'm in the art club, and I need to head there anyway. I just need to grab one thing here first, if you don't mind waiting. That would be great, actually. I still don't know my way around this place yet. It's only my third day. Yamaku is a lot larger than I expected. Well, if there's anything you want to know, just ask. It's pretty easy to get around once you know the place. Here, I'll show you what's inside. She starts to head toward the lobby door, with me easily falling into place beside her. I can't help but notice the very slight limp she has, but also the practiced ease with which she moves with it. I suddenly realize I've gotten this far in the conversation, and I don't even know who I'm talking to. Good job, man. Thanks. You know, I didn't get your name.
It's Saki. Saki Inamoto. What's yours?
Hisao Nakai. I try to match the genuine tone in her voice with my own and find it surprisingly easy. I take a step ahead and pull the door open. Open the door for her.
Pleased to meet you, and thank you.
The foyer is modest yet airy as I look around, with a few scattered chairs and benches, a wall with a brightly painted mural, and large doorways leading off to other areas of the building. I see a few others sitting around the room, either chatting in hushed tones with their peers or their noses intently in books. Two look up and wave in our direction, and Saki waves back.
This way.
Sal Debussy? Debussy? Huh? She moves toward the door on her right. I see lettering on it right before she opens it, indicating it's the music room.
I'll only take a minute. I hope I'm not keeping you from anything.
Don't worry, I have nowhere else to be, really. Saki pulls open the door before I have a chance to open it for her and quickly slips inside. Alright. Also, dude, you don't have to open the door for her every time. Like, calm down, bro. You don't need to open it every single time. That's a bit much. I use the brief lull to look around and take in my surroundings. The corkboard on the wall next to me draws my attention, and I choose to study it for a few seconds. It looks like the festival is mentioned about half a dozen times. Seems that everyone in the school is getting involved in one way or another, and I guess it only makes sense that the performing arts departments would be just as involved as any other class. True to her word, after about 30 seconds, I hear the door open again next to me. Saki comes back out again, cane in one hand and a case in the other. Got what you came for? She nods happily, and we start back toward the entrance to the building. When we get to the door, instead of holding it open for her, I get another idea that I mentally kick myself for not having earlier. Would you like me to carry that for you?
Are you sure?
No problem. You're showing me how to get to the art room. That's the least I can do, right?
Thank you.
It weighs more than I expected, but then again, I don't exactly have a frame of reference. How much should one of these weigh? I put the question idly in the back of my mind while we start making our way back across the campus. Okay.
So, Hisao, you said this is your third day at Yamaku? How do you like it so far?
It's different. It's a lot to take in at once, I guess. Between moving and having to deal with Shizune and Misha running me ragged.
Oh, it's those two?
You know them?
Trust me, those two are known all over the school. Anyone on the same side of the school as Misha knows she's there, and wherever she is, Shizune is too.
No shit! I find myself laughing before I can stop it. She completely nailed Misha there. But it does present another question. Okay, I am actually liking this so far. We're not very far in, but I'm already kind of liking it. I'm liking the writing. Jesus Christ. Just everyone knows who they are. I love that. Just everyone knows. It's not a question of do they know, it's just how do they know? How do they know them? Do they know them personally or by reputation? I'm pretty sure 90% of them is by reputation. Well, Misha is a given, but how do you know she's an A if you aren't in her class?
I have to deal with her from time to time when we do different events through the year, like the festival. She means well, but the way she tries to inject herself into everything can be very...
Taxing?
I had a few different words in mind, but that's one of the nicer ways of putting it. Just be careful, or before you know it, you'll be on the student council. She tries that with almost everybody.
You have no idea.
Uh-oh. Is she already trying to sink her claws into you? You should know it's gonna get worse before it gets better. That girl loves a challenge.
So I've noticed. The next few minutes pass by with idle chit-chat. I asked Saki about the festival, since I'm new and it's coming up fast. Also, it seems to be a really big deal for everyone.
For some people, it is. Others couldn't care less. I guess it just depends on the moods of the people who go to school here and the ones that come during it.
What do you mean?
Honestly, I probably wouldn't go at all if we weren't performing. I was there the last 2 years, and while it was fun, I don't know the best way to describe it.
She slows down for a second and looks off back in the direction we came, almost to see if there was someone behind us as she lowers her voice.
It's the school, Hisao. More the guests themselves, really. We put on the festival because it's a normal thing to do, and most of the people that show up are fine, but there are others who just...
The same lock of hair has slipped down again, so she reaches up to tuck it back while she collects her thoughts. When she speaks again, her voice takes on a matter-of-fact tone.
Yamaku isn't a normal school, and those people go out of their way so hard to make us feel normal. The worst ones are the ones who pat themselves on the back for coming, showing that they're concerned and that they're so progressive, just for showing up.
Okay, we got a little bit of resentment for this situation. Damn. Alright, Saki, I see you.
You can see it in their eyes, the way they talk, even the way they move. It's smug, and it's just... sickening.
Okay, then.
Yes, we all agree. Baron is an idiot.
Thank you for that. How you doing, Nevermore? You're alright? Good, good. Glad to hear. I'm doing pretty good. I've been excited all day to start this, and I'm already pretty intrigued with where we're going with this. It's interesting. We actually have someone who kind of resents this, who kind of resents the school and the people that come to this festival. Which that is a very valid, point of view. And yes, that is a thing now. Okay, thank you for that. And this is okay. So this is how she's gonna relate a little more with Hisao, because again, right now he's kind of in that depressive, everything sucks thing. I don't want people to pity me because I'm disabled. And I just want people to feel good about themselves for showing up and saying, being nice to me, just so, they get those brownie points with, I don't know, whoever they worship. We're seeing a stream on a Saturday, but I'm not complaining. Yep, it's one of my rare Saturday streams. I had to. After I had to shift all my streams down, it just ended up being a Saturday. Yeah, her words give me pause, not because of their frank nature, but because of the way they strike a chord deep within me. She just summed up and put into words the nagging feeling I had sensed during my stay in the hospital. A feeling and attitude that I started to get from my friends when they came to visit me. Something I couldn't pinpoint, something out of reach, but something that felt wrong.
Sorry. I guess I didn't realize how dark that got. Don't mind me. Those people are pretty few and far between. Shall we keep going? We're almost there.
Wow. Without me realizing where we were going, I find we're almost back to the main entrance of the building. Or entrance of the main building. Fuck. Learn to read, Baron. Please don't tell me it's in here.
Yep, it's upstairs. Why?
So's my classroom. Well, I suppose the walk was refreshing.
You got to see more of the school, at least.
I'm surprised with how empty the building seems to be. Every time I've been through here, it's been bustling with faculty and staff, but there's only 1 or 2 people wandering about. Everyone wants to leave the classrooms as quickly as possible after the final bell rings, or head off to any clubs that aren't in this building. I start to turn toward the elevator when Saki surprises me. She's making a beeline for the stairs, as if she was completely oblivious to its existence. With deliberate practiced motions, she places her right hand on the banister and starts up them, slowly but surely. Okay, yeah, I guess you would assume because she has a cane she would take the elevator and not the stairs. Okay. This is probably... Is this where he's going to find out is this where Hisao is going to find out what kind of physical disability she has? Okay, catch me up. What is this visual novel I see? But what's the deal? Not soul shattering like Fruitiger Sai, I hope. Okay, so this is a mod for a visual novel called Katawa Shoujo. Katawa Shoujo was a visual novel about a boy who named Hisao, who ended up finding out he has a heart condition. He has arrhythmia. And after spending a few months in the hospital trying to recover from that, is sent to a brand new school that specializes in being able to take care of, teens with physical disabilities. All the girls he can meet and romance in this school have some kind of physical disability, be it they could be blind, they don't have any arms, they have amputated legs, they have burn scars, they can't speak, stuff like that. It's actually a very, very good visual novel. I recommend anyone to play it if you have a computer. I think you might be able to play it on an iPad too. I'm not 100% sure, don't quote me on that. Let the unseen get seen. Yeah, honestly, it's really good. And honestly, the big moral of it is just... A really big moral of it is... These aren't people with disabilities, they're just regular people. Yes, they have disabilities, but that doesn't define who they are. They're still normal people that have regular feelings and insecurities and all that. Sure, they can't see, but that doesn't make them any less of a person. Sure, they don't have any legs anymore and have to use, prosthetics. They're still a person. The one without legs. They're not the girl who lost her legs. She's the fastest thing on no legs. She may have, prosthetics, but she's on the track team, one of the fastest on it. The girl with no arms is an art student. She makes art, despite, not having, literally having arms. It's very interesting. Different labeled people like that are usually swept out of sight. So them being important characters and letting their personality shine is one. Honestly, Katawa Shoujo is an amazing visual novel. It is very, very touching. It takes this stuff very seriously. Despite where it came from, you would think it was just a, oh, haha, hee, let's bang the disabled girls. No, they went into this very respectfully, treated it respectfully, and it is one of the most wholesome, heartwarming things of all time. It is so good. And this is a mod for that game. This is Act 1 of a mod, of an entire different story that someone is writing as a fan fiction that is slowly being turned into, basically a visual novel. Which is still ongoing, by the way. It's been ongoing for about a year after the game started, was released. And the game was released in, 2012. And this has been going on since 2013, so there's a lot. There's a whole history to this. So yeah, our character ourself is Hisao Nakai. He was a average teenage boy, and after his high school crush decided to confess to him, he suddenly had a heart attack. So after months of in the hospital recovering and figuring out what was wrong, he transfers into this new school that has a medical team on literally on the grounds to take care of any kind of issues that a normal school wouldn't be able to take care of. And it's just filled with more people that could have other, physical disabilities and whatnot. Though they do say, as part of it, you don't have to have a physical disability to go to this school. It's generally more set up for it. Okay, because again, medical team. They have a medical team on standby, a nurse, they check in every now and again, all that stuff. There's a lot here. So in the context of the story right now, this is his third day in the school, and instead of going directly to an art room to look for supplies, like in the normal route, like in the normal game where he would meet the girl that doesn't have any arms, he went a different way and ends up meeting this girl. Her name is Saki. Her sprite and everything is based off of an April Fool's joke the devs did during, obviously April Fool's, the year the game came out, saying her and one other girl would be added into the game, which they weren't. It was April Fool's. But people liked the designs and the little mini story they had for them, so they kind of just ran with it. One person in particular, Eurobeat Jester, has been writing a fan fiction for many years, creating their own route for Saki. And that's just kind of what we're going through. Also, I have not saved a single time. There we go. A lot of love and care went into it then. A lot did, honestly. I mean, again, the fan fiction is still ongoing. They've been writing it as if it was, scene by scene, like an actual visual novel, like it was a route in a visual novel. I think he might have even put cues for where music would start and stop in his own fan fiction, which is just wow. I think a few have done that. They'll put points saying, okay, play this specific track here, and then they'll say, stop this track, play this track. Just to really kind of get you into that mood. And yeah, the fan fiction itself is almost done. There's about 2 or 3 more chapters they said they're going to release once they finish writing them, but the end is near. After over 10 years of working on it, it's almost done. Actually, I think it is. Actually, no, it is 10 years. It's like 10 years they've been working on it, and now it's going to be done soonish. She uses her cane for balance as she lifts it up one step, followed by a foot, then repeating the process with the opposite leg. It's not until she's on the midway landing and turning to look at me that I realize I've been staring. My face flushes red in embarrassment, Muto's and Yuko's words replaying themselves in my head. That being, there's only a problem if you think there's a problem. Because he's been feeling weird about being in this school with everyone that has, you know, these physical disabilities. He's feeling weird and feels like it's like, am I an issue here? How can I see this as normal? And everyone's pretty much telling him, it's only an issue if you're making it an issue. This is all a you problem right now. You're the one making a big deal out of it when there really isn't a big deal out of it. There's no deal. There's nothing to, you know, be like, what the hell's going on kind of thing. This is weird. That isn't weird. This is life. It's like, just get used to it, buddy. So it's the main character grows. He learns. He does in fact learn to just accept as like, okay, this isn't weird in any way, shape, or form. This is just normal. Again, that's like the big moral message behind the whole thing. It's just they're all normal people, which they are. You know how many times I had to catch myself saying that during my initial playthrough of this on stream? A lot. Because they are all just normal people. I'm saying it too much now. It's going to lose its meaning. I need to continue on.
You coming?
She says, choosing to purposefully overlook or ignore my transgression. The knowing grin on her face suggests it's the former. She waits with her hand still on the banister, looking at me with a mischievous sparkle in her eyes. When I turn my face away from hers, she giggles lightly. I'm sorry. It's just...
You're new here? It's okay. Everyone needs some time to adjust here. And I don't just mean the school. I'm sorry for teasing you, but when I saw your face like that, I couldn't help it.
Does that happen often?
Once in a while, but usually only once. Just don't go asking me to go hiking behind the school. Stairs aren't that difficult, just slow.
We both reach the top at about the same time, which opens up into the now familiar hallway. Down to the right is my classroom, and down to the left is where Saki points.
This way, furthest door down to the left.
Great. Sure took the long road in getting here.
Yes, but if you didn't take the long way, you would have made me carry that thing all by myself.
What's in here anyway?
My violin. I'm also in a band.
And the art club? That seems like it'd be quite the schedule. Oh, another random thing, Nevermore, that I think this is just because they might have based this mod off of the, actually 100%, they based this mod off of the, HD remastered version of the game, using a more, current version of the, software. There's actually, hold on, is it H? Oh, shift.
Self-voicing enabled.
Oops, I didn't want...
Self-voicing disabled.
I did not want that, but that's a good thing. There's self-voicing. For the visually impaired, you can turn self-voicing on, and it'll read this out. What is it? Shift A, that's it. A whole bunch of accessibility options here. self-voicing for dialogue. You can change the fonts. They have the dyslexia font, so anyone that has dyslexia, it'll, make it easier for them to read it. Spacing, the size of the text. That's a great addition as well. That is just a great addition. I think that might just be the newer version of Renpai. Which, hallelujah, that's actually a very great option. So yeah, that's just in the game now. At least this version of it, which is cool. It's probably in the remastered version too. I didn't download the remastered version of the game. I still have the original. The remastered one, again, just kind of brought it up to, into a modern version of the visual novel engine, and also brought everything up to HD quality as best they could. And also, I can finally control the size of the window, rather than what it was before, which was uncontrollable. It was either full screened or not, or just a very specifically sized window, which was annoying. But with this, I can make it bigger or smaller as much as I want, which is just perfect. Yeah, so I'm just gonna hit another save here just to be safe. A little honko.
I'd like to keep myself busy. Besides, it's fun, and it helps.
Helps with what? That's the last thing I think to myself as she reaches the door and opens it. Oh my god, they still have the same transition. I've always held the belief that every human, deep in their psyche, has some sort of morbid curiosity regarding the macabre. Whether it's watching the news cycles constantly focused on the bad things that happen in the world, reading a story where the main character suffers misfortune, or the way traffic slows down to view an accident, even when there's no physical impediment. Ugh, can't even speak. You simply can't turn away when you see something happening. You're equally as transfixed in the horror on the moment in question as you are from some sick desire to see it carry out. Oh my god, we're at this point? Where Lily and Shizune are fucking, staring each other down? Damn. Ironically, one of them is blind and is staring down someone. It's fascinating on some deeply primal level. And this is how I find myself now, watching Lily and Shizune at each other's throats. It started innocently enough. I had woken up too early and couldn't get back to sleep. Not really knowing what else to do, I got dressed and headed to my class through the nearly deserted school. I was the only one there, sitting at my desk when Lily stopped by, just as bedraggled as I was. What? What the fuck is bedraggled? Whatever. We barely had time to discuss anything before Misha and Shizune barged in. I think someone said something about the student council budget, and then all hell broke loose. Shizune is looking like an avenging angel, her hands and fingers moving so fast they're a blur. Misha is translating everything she's saying, but with none of the implied inflection. Lily is as steadfast as a statue, only winding up Shizune further. Okay, so the blonde girl on the left is Lily, best girl. She's blind, has been blind her entire life. She's just born blind. And to her right is Shizune. She is mute. So her friend Misha translates for her. She's quite proficient in sign language. She's very vocal despite not actually being able to speak. She's also deaf. Yeah, she's also deaf as well. She's deaf, and I think actually she might just be mute by choice. I could be wrong about that, though. At the very least, she doesn't speak, she can't hear, so everything she does is purely, you know, sign language and just gestures. Also, they're cousins. They're family. And they hate each other. Bedraggled means disheveled. Or bedraggled equals dirty. Okay, also, hey Nick, how's it going, buddy? It's surreal. I'm not awake enough for this, and I seriously doubt I would ever be awake enough. Oh my god, oh no, 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 no. I know this is supposed to be Misha saying all this. This is probably Misha saying all this for Shizune, because obviously she can't speak it. So, well, I'll do my crappy Misha voice. Let me just practice it for a second. I practice it by just saying Hisao's name essentially over and over. So, one moment. Alright, here we go.
Tell me the names of those 2 students. They should have your job if you can't even handle something this simple yourself.
I'm protesting. Want to hear the awful practice? Yeah. Go watch the VODs on YouTube with Katawa. Then you'll hear plenty of Misha. Especially in the Shizune route. Ooh, Lily. I've changed up her voice a few times since then.
One form isn't the full extent of what I'm supposed to take care of.
Yes, we all agree. Baron is an
fast.
idiot.
Thank you, Nevermore.
Of course! You do so much, class rep! It must be so difficult being you! I was actually just discussing the budget report before you came by. You must be very talented to have finished all your student council duties so quickly that you can track me down to make sure I don't forget my own. Are you accusing me of slacking off? It seems like you're confusing me with yourself. I don't think so. That would be a very difficult thing for me to do, comparing myself to you. You're right. The difference between us is like heaven and hell. And it's not hard to guess which one you might represent.
Oh my god. Oh, fucking Christ. You can cut the enmity in the air with a knife as they stare each other down. The irritation in Lily's demeanor has been replaced with genuine anger. Something very unsettling to see. Shizune has a self-congratulatory smirk on her face, clearly enjoying this. Not only does she find something to criticize Lily on, but she's breaking through Lily's steady facade. Even Misha looks like she's beginning to understand the real nature of this conversation. Shizune then fixes that gaze on me, and I'm left dumbfounded like a deer in the headlights. Oh my god.
Hee-chan, don't you slack off either.
Wait a minute. What do I have to do with this?
Aren't you taking part in the festival, Hee-chan? You are, aren't you? Then...
Misha pauses, waiting for Shizune to finish her next flourish.
I hope you're going to do a lot more to make sure it goes smoothly than this person.
I immediately feel my face redden at the unfairness of that remark. You like point and clicks, right? Yes? Also, hey guys, I got a special treat for you today. Come here, buddy. Susie Bean. Ruby's brother's here. It's Zeus. This big lug. What are you doing, big feller? What are you doing, big feller? Yep. It's her brother. He's a slobbering machine. And doesn't realize he's, you know, big. It's been a while since we've had Zeus show up on stream. Last time he was on stream was back at the old house in my old room before I moved into the basement there. So there we go. You guys got a nice little treat. Got to see Zeusy again. Probably. No, I'm actually not covered in slobber. That's a shock. Don't drag me into this. I've done more than enough to help out for the festival, I think. If you're angry at Lily, that has nothing to do with me. I snapped back, instantly wishing I'd phrased that better. I follow a guy that is a voice actor, and he streamed a game he did voice work from. The game is an indie game that some guy made in his basement all by himself, then paid people to voice in it. The game is random violence, swearing, and does not take itself seriously at all. Okay. The art style is very South Park. Alright. Post it in the Discord and I can check it out later. Maybe I can add it as a variety game. Always on the lookout for more stuffs. Repella fella, you can buy. Okay, alright. Yeah, I'll probably check it out after stream then. And I know exactly where we are in the story right now, and I know exactly which choice Hisao just made. He made the choice to not defend Lily. Which, oof, that gets you closer to the Shizune route. I mean, I like Shizune, but Lily's best girl. I love Lily a lot. Okay. Her route made me cry, damn it. It wasn't even over, and it made me cry like a baby. Because it's an indie thing, the ending is kind of in the air, and if you take off the guy that made it plans... Okay. Okay, if it takes off the guy, make it a second game. Okay, okay.
Now, wait just a second. Are you implying the president is more right in scolding me than yourself?
Oh, for the love of...
I didn't say that.
All I'm saying is... Oh, a random Saki appears.
Hello?
I hear a vaguely familiar voice speak from the doorway. 3 heads followed a second later by a 4th snap in the direction of the sound to see a girl standing at the door, one hand on the frame as she leans her head in. Her other hand holds her cane in front of her, at the ready to defend herself at a moment's notice from the hostility in the room. I may have never been so happy to see someone in my life as I am at that exact moment. Shizune's eyes narrow as she signs tersely to Misha. It's obvious she doesn't like this interruption, although I can't tell if it's because it may undermine the upper hand she has on Lily.
Miss Enomoto! This isn't your classroom. What do you think you're doing here?
Saki makes eye contact with me briefly before glancing at the others.
I was trying to find some help, and I heard voices as I was walking down the hall.
What's up, Saki? I ask, trying not to make my eagerness at the subject change too obvious.
We need a few more things from one of the art rooms to finish our stall for Sunday. We were going to work on it after school. I found what we need, but if I could get some help to taking it to the band room right now, it would save some time. Do you think I could borrow his sow for a few minutes? You're not done either? I can't believe I'm the only one who seems to be taking this seriously. Hey, that's not fair, Shi-chan. I work hard too.
Oh my god. Usually whenever Misha talks for Shizune, it's still in Misha's like text bubble. So it's interesting that they're separating it here. But whatever, that's fine. It's probably just how it was written in the fan fiction, just Shizune line. It'd probably get really confusing to have... Probably would just be really confusing in text format there, just to have the lines that Misha is saying for Shizune. I mean, they differentiated here by just having them italicized. I know later in the base game, when we finally actually understand sign language ourselves, anytime Shizune says something, it's just written in the normal text in her bubble. You know, if you don't pick up the game for Variety Week, I'm saving up for pick a game. Yep, it'll be Repel-a-Fella. Alright. I already got one game that I have to play, because Mochi redeemed that yesterday. So expect the original Ratchet and Clank pretty soon. That's gonna happen now. As the two of them start heatedly conversing among themselves, I notice Saki leans slightly against the doorframe, revealing that this isn't at all startling to her. Given what she told me about having to deal with Shizune, I imagine these outbursts of hers are quite familiar.
Lily, I think Mr. Nomiya said you were using the stencils for your class when I asked him about it yesterday. Ah, that's right. We were finishing up our signs. I believe most of them are done, although I don't know for sure. Things have been rather hectic as of late. This is unacceptable! This festival is imperative to the morale of the school. Everybody works hard to make sure it goes smoothly and establishes a sense of community. Too many people don't take it seriously, and the image of the entire school suffers for it.
God damn it. It's fucking Misha. Yeah, there's some parts of Repel-a-Fella that I want to see your reaction to. Alright, alrighty.
In case you've forgotten, Miss President, we're not just running a booth. We're also performing to raise money for the year-end recital. We're very busy with both things, so surely you can understand if we may not have everything done as fast as the other classes.
While I know that the beautiful inflection behind those words will be lost on Shizune, I'm left in awe with how artfully she wove that degree of sarcasm into them. I see Lily trying very hard to suppress a smile, having not missed a beat. Shizune senses she's being mocked and scowls angrily behind her glasses. Best part, it's definitely voice acted, so you won't have to. Alright. Good, I can save my voice.
Why do you need help? Can't you find what you need on your own?
Saki moves her cane and raps it twice against one of the metal legs of the nearest desk. The loud clung-clung makes the three of us that can hear it visibly jump.
Because it's heavy. Surely you don't expect someone like me to carry it all by myself?
The pouting look she gives is so exaggerated that it's all I can do to keep from grinning like an idiot. Yeah, don't let the heavy don't make the person that walks with a cane carry shit. Heavy stuff. That's just a recipe for disaster.
I would hope not.
I'll help. There's a while before class starts anyway.
Great! It shouldn't be too much. Just some paint and poster board, I think. Not only be a big help to our club, but to the festival as well.
Shizune folds her arms and stares daggers, which I imagine is the equivalent of being left speechless. It's obvious she isn't used to being dismissed like this. I remember this. Did you say 4chan? Yes. People off of 4chan made this game. A single page from the back of a doujin that was released like 5, almost 10, I don't know, multiple years beforehand was randomly translated, colored, and put onto just put up on 4chan. And that got people talking. Okay, I'm more shocked considering they are troll. Exactly. That's what makes the game just like even more amazing. That a bunch of people managed to come together off from 4chan and made one of the most wholesome and heartwarming games out there. All for free, too. All completely for free. As soon as I enter the hallway, I let out a breath I hadn't realized I'd been holding. Saki and I managed to get a few steps down the hall before I can hear Misha and Lily arguing again. Thank you.
Lucky for you I came by. What started all that anyway?
I'm not sure. I think it had to do with the festival budget. The two of them were going at it before I could really figure out what that meant, and I wasn't fully awake yet. This is the same 4chan that created the Bikini Bridge to troll women. We're somehow thoughtful and caring enough to make this game. It is fascinating. Just the history of the development of this game is mind-boggling and insane on its own. This game's creation was a miracle. I'm not kidding. It is a fucking miracle. One moment. Gigik, you had this entire video about it. Fucking Christ. Do not tell me he took it down. If he took it down, I am going to cry. There's no way he would take it down. There it is. No, not open image. Copy link. If you ever get free time... There is a video by Gigik on YouTube where he actually just talks about the history of, well, this game being made. Leading all the way up to, you know, its final release. So yeah, if you're ever really interested, that video definitely sums it up really well. It's about half an hour long, but it's very, very informative. Send it to you on Discord? Yep, I can do that. I can send it to you on Discord. Where is you? Where are you? Let me just save again real quick. I've completely lost my train of thought right now. Completely lost my train of thought right now. Ugh. Where the hell was I? It's, okay, one, I guess, little complaint I have at the moment for this is there's a lot of quiet moments right now, and there's not a lot of music at points at the right, and that just, it feels really off, because, like, almost the entirety of, regular Katawa had some kind of music playing in the background. I mean, there definitely were quiet moments, but there was a lot of, at least some kind of noise. So these just, like, random quiet moments are just really weird. That's the one small complaint I have so far, is just there's not enough music going on at times. Granted, I am still very early on in this, so we'll see what happens.
Shizune's always like that whenever there's a big project. All the other classes are supposed to submit budget requests so she can keep track of the treasury. She comes down on anyone who doesn't get it done as fast as she does.
Your club had to submit a budget too?
Yep. And it's not just classes that have stalls, but several clubs do too. They do it to raise money. We have a recital at the end of the year, so that's what we're focusing on. Even though I gave Shizune our budget a few days ago, she still got on my case about taking so long to do it. It's almost like she enjoys it. I don't think I've ever met someone more competitive than she is. Don't get me wrong, she's good at what she does. I just wish she wasn't so damned arrogant about it. She loves to rub it in people's faces whenever she gets the chance.
By now, we've reached the end of the hallway at the entrance to the art room, and I hold open the door for her as she steps inside. There's some music. When I follow, the wall of cold air that hits me makes me shiver for a second. The room is bathed in a bright light as the rising sun streams through the windows, catching a few stray specks of dust drifting lazily in its beams. I have to say, I still can't wrap my head around that little stunt you pulled back there. I've never seen Shizune completely shut down like that.
She is really easy to wind up if you know how. She was like that all last year when I was with her.
Saki laughs as she rests her cane against one of the desks, crouching down to pull open the drawer beneath it. I hear papers and heavier objects being shuffled around.
I don't think she's used to having other people stand up to her.
Well, I've tried standing up to her about the student council thing. She's persistent, but I never thought she was acting mean towards me.
Oh. That's because you're a challenge, and there's something she wants right now.
Let me guess. Me joining the council?
Bingo. She's nice enough when she wants something. But when someone who stands up to her but when someone who stands up to her just doesn't agree with her, you get that.
I can hear her curse in frustration as her search appears to turn up fruitless. What are you looking for anyway?
Mr. Nomiya keeps a packet of stencils that we sometimes use to make signs. I was supposed to grab them yesterday, but Lily's class was using them.
She scans the room, looking for any place they might be hidden. Her brow furrows as she starts towards the back of the room, her hand gliding atop the desks for support in lieu of her cane.
Can you help me check the back cabinets? They have to be here somewhere. They should be in a blue box.
I head towards the second cabinet as she reaches the first and pull it open. I'm instantly assaulted by an array of supplies staring back at me. Brushes, paint cans, blank canvases, blank poster boards, several bottles of strong-smelling chemicals, and about a dozen boxes on the bottom shelf splattered with paint. How big is the box? There's a few in here.
About the size of a shoebox.
I squint to get a closer look and make out that the top box on the stack is indeed a dark blue accented with a few red and white stains. Oh my god, I can't read again. Is this it?
Looks like it.
She reaches over as I set the box down and pulls the lid off, revealing a deep stack of thick cardboard stock cut into a variety of shapes. Okay, cardstock, not cardboard stock. I can't read, guys. Every sheet has been coated and recoated with so many colors that any one could be its own piece of abstract art. As she lifts out a few to make sure, I can see why they were being used yesterday. With all of Lily's fellow students either completely or partially blind, having stencils like this would make the job of decorating their signs much easier. Satisfied, she puts the contents back in the box and reapplies the lid.
We have everything else, so this should do it, I think.
Wait a minute. You needed me to carry just this?
Yeah. You don't expect me to carry something heavy that far either, do you?
Is there anyone that your tactic doesn't work on?
Not many.
Oh my god. I'm liking Saki a bit. I'm liking her. I'm starting to like her. She's not gonna dethrone Lily. At least not yet. But I'm liking her. Almost as an afterthought, she moves to my open cabinet and pulls out a few rolled up pieces of poster board, tucking them firmly under her arm.
There. Does this make you feel better?
The look she gives me waiting for my approval leaves me laughing and shaking my head. Alright, you win. You're lucky I happen to be such a nice, helpful guy.
Really? And here I thought you actually wanted to help. I could have simply left you back there, you know.
I realize my smile has never quite left my face since I started laughing. I was never really one for witty banter even before my heart attack, and the hospital pretty much killed whatever knack I had for it. This conversation, this short exchange, however, it's something I'm grateful for. The ease with which Saki holds and drives a conversation, the subtle back and forth, the good-natured ribbing while not seeming to take anything too seriously, it's drawing something out of me I hadn't even realized I'd lost. Saki's reminding me that I have a sense of humor. I am now and eternally in your debt. I bow gravely for greater effect. Oh my god.
That's kind of a cute thing of you to say, but being too cute has its drawbacks too.
Oh? How so?
People might start to take advantage of you if you make it look that easy.
I'm sorry, what? Oh. Okay. They'll take advantage of his good nature. Okay. I was confused there for a second. Yeah, you're probably right. Shizune, Misha, you.
I never claimed to be a good person.
No, just an opportunistic one.
You're learning. But if it makes you feel better, when you agreed to help me, I decided I'd treat you to breakfast this morning.
Okay. When we leave the art room, I no longer hear any arguments coming from my classroom, so we turn toward the center of the building. This time, however, Saki heads in the direction of the elevator instead of the stairs. She notices the look of puzzlement on my face.
Remember when I told you that if there was anything you wanted to know, all you had to do was ask?
Her directness catches me off guard. I suddenly feel uncomfortable. I still don't know what the etiquette is for this, and I'm scared I may have done something wrong. I just remembered you taking the stairs earlier.
Oh, climbing stairs is easy. Going down them, though, that can be dangerous. Especially with both hands full.
I see. I still am not able to completely shake the unease I'm feeling towards myself. With a ding that echoes through the empty hall, the elevator doors slide open and we step inside. The walk across the school is fairly uneventful. Saki and I walk side by side, breathing in the fresh morning air. While there's no doubt that summer is here, the morning cold has just enough bite to make your lungs tingle. The grass glistens with thousands of tiny droplets, and the rising sun casts long, strange shadows that cling to everything they touch. I know it won't burn off fast as the temperature rapidly climbs, but seeing the school like this is a reward that almost makes getting up this early worth it. I can't read. The only sounds are footsteps, a few birds singing in the trees, and an occasional voice carried on the wind from some distant conversation as the grounds start to wake. And I take a few moments to think a bit more about Yamaku in general. I've tried to face this whole situation with a positive attitude, but there's still so much about this that seems strange to me. The school, being away from home, the other students, the medical staff, and myself. I find myself most alien of all. 4 months after my attack, and it still doesn't seem real at times. More than once this week, I've let my mind wander and find myself forgetting about where I am and how I got here. I almost feel normal, and then something will happen. I'll see a sign with directions to the nurse's office. I'll see an emergency defibrillator on the wall next to a fire extinguisher. I'll see a student with a cane, or a missing limb, or in a wheelchair, or with some other disability that I don't know whether to acknowledge or ignore. And suddenly it all comes crashing back at once. The worst ones are the reminders that involve myself. I'll lose myself in a book and lean back to stretch, pulling at the puckered scar on my chest. I'll be studying the homework assigned to us for the day and look up to see all my bottles of medication a foot away from me on the desk, lined up like little toy soldiers. I'll take a shower and step out feeling refreshed, and catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror. Fortunately, that last one has only happened once so far. The one that's shaken me up the most happened this morning, however. I was in bed, my bed, in that blissful state where you're aware but not quite awake. I buried myself deep under the covers, not wanting to wake up, but looking forward to the new day. Idly wondering for a split second if Mom had made breakfast or if I'd have to fend for myself. Wondering how long I could sleep in before having to run to make it to school on time. Wondering if I remembered to do all my schoolwork assigned yesterday. When I finally opened my eyes, for 2 full seconds, I didn't know where I was. I think that's the reason I found myself at my class so early. There was no going back to sleep after that. Even now, I'm still inwardly horrified at the slip-ups I've made around my fellow students. I'm still walking on eggshells around so many of them, despite what Yuko and Muto have said to me. Okay, I'm liking what's going on with Hisao here right now. He's still trying to get used to his new situation. He's still trying to figure it out. Okay, even though it has been 4 months, it's still something very hard to accept. It'll still be something very, very hard to accept. I had a heart attack. I have a heart condition. Things are... I can't be exactly the same as I was. Like, I know you haven't played the game, Nevermore, but, he can't be too physically active in general. Especially not right away. If he gets his heart pumping too quickly in a short span of time, it will affect... It will kind of kickstart his arrhythmia again and give him another heart attack. So if he tries running way too hard, if he tries playing any sports... Even just someone, like, bumping into him, like, a little too hard, that could set him off. It's, like, yeah, it's something he has to live with for literally the rest of his life. He can still potentially live a full life. It's just he'll always have, that arrhythmia, that heart, condition. It's not something that's just gonna go away. So this is just something he's slowly having to learn to get used to again. He's got to find his brand new normal. So I like how he's having more of these inner thoughts about his situation here. This is still very early on. In Act 1 of Katawa Shoujo, he is he's like 100% like being depressed. Yeah, again, it can get very real like that. Like, these are real feelings someone could have after having some kind of life-changing event happen to them. Something as simple as watching a girl with a cane climb a flight of stairs is enough to fill me with guilt when I get caught at it. I take another look at Saki, who's half a pace ahead of me. She moves with her cane as if it's an extension of her body, never missing a beat with it. Her strides are cautious, yet even, always making sure she has at least 2 points of contact with the ground. She's not even leaning into it heavily like I've seen some other students do. Remembering her in the art room and on the stairs makes me realize that she's been using the cane for balance more than for favoring a weakened leg. Damn it. I'm doing it again. Stop it. I don't have any outward appearances that would give people a clue why I was here. I'm not blind like Lily, or scarred like Hanako. I'm not missing my arms like Rin. I'm not sitting in a wheelchair or wearing an artificial leg. Rin was the only one I've met so far who openly asked me about my condition, since it wasn't obvious. Okay, that's a bit of a continuity error here now. Actually, no, actually not a continuity error. I'm just figuring this out now. Saki led him back to the art room after they had their whole scene, so he could still have that interaction with Rin. Okay, so that still fits within the normal Act 1 common route. Okay, now that I'm thinking, okay. Yeah, good on you, Eurobeat Jester. All right, you way to tie that back in. So he still meets Rin. We just don't see that scene. All right. But with the exception of her, I haven't been asked by anybody outside of those who already knew about it, like Muto and the nurse. Perhaps Muto and Yuko are right. These things are only as big of a deal as you make them out to be. everyone ends up here at Yamaku for a reason, and it seems that everyone knows it and accepts it. It's not something that's taboo or the topic of the day. It just is.
You okay?
Saki's voice pierces through my train of thought. I notice with a start, I've fallen a few steps behind her. Yeah, sorry. I take 2 long strides to catch up to her. She seems to accept this answer with a nod, and we keep walking, the arts building drawing closer. Saki stops suddenly, her eyes growing wide in recognition. She cups a hand to her mouth and shouts out toward another student near the entrance. Okay, we're getting a new student. New character, I guess. That's something. Chisato? I don't know if they have a sprite yet or not, or they have some kind of... I think if I saw a quick screenshot of, like, maybe an early build of this, it might just be, like, a stand-in, what? I don't know. It might be just a stand-in, sprite until they get the real ones made. I could be wrong. I mean, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out very shortly. I probably won't go for very, very long after this, either. I'm kind of approaching my 2 hours.
Chisato!
A girl with short, raven-colored hair turns around at the voice, her face a mask of confusion before she sees Saki. Waving, she starts to lightly jog over to meet us. Alright, let's see what the game's got for us. No sprite! Okay. They just don't have a sprite. That's fine. And great, I gotta think of another voice now. I think there might be 2 original characters that this adds, both of them being girls. As much as I am afraid to ask, chat, what should Chisato's voice be? I'm afraid to ask. I feel like I know what an answer is going to be. Agumon? Agumon! You want this teenage girl to be Agumon! Wasn't the answer I was expecting. Hey, you knew it was coming. Okay, I was expecting a different voice. I was expecting a different Digimon's voice, in all honesty. Either that or Mrs. Doubtfire. That's just me doing a crappy accent. That's just me doing the accent I was essentially doing for Lily, I think. I was expecting you to say Floramon, just so I can get more sake. The Valley Girl never dies, apparently. At least in my... Do I do Valley Girl for Chisato? Do I do Valley Girl for Chisato? Yes. I'm seeing a yes. Alright, fine. Alright, Chisato is now Valley Girl. God end me now. We'll never let that die. And it just... I don't know. Saying Saki in the faux Valley Girl voice just works. It just works.
Saki! What are you doing here so early? Classes aren't supposed to start for almost an hour. I was grabbing the stencils from the art room. Well, actually, he has them. Oh!
Her green eyes opening wide as she seems to notice me for the first time. Oh god. Okay. I thought she was gonna make some kind of thing about Saki hanging with a girl. I mean, boy. Yes, this house a girl now. Apparently, I don't know how to words. Oh god damn it.
I'm sorry. My name's Chisato Soma.
Nice to meet you. I'm Hisao Nakai. I returned both her bow and greeting. I can't help but idly compare how similar this encounter is to the one I had with Yuko earlier. I wonder how many more times this process is going to repeat itself this week. Also, new music! That's nice. To my surprise, recognition crosses her face.
So this is Hisao Nakai?
Oh, great. What exactly have the two of them been talking about? I never know how to react in situations like this. So, Saki's mentioned me, has she? I cast a sidelong glance at Saki. She shamelessly meets my gaze and raises an eyebrow.
Don't worry. She hasn't said anything bad. Just telling me about a new guy she met.
Huh.
Chisato, can you take these to the band room? Hisao and I need to get breakfast before class starts. I'll swing by later to help finish up with the booth, okay? Sure!
Chisato reaches to take both the poster board Saki has and the box I'm carrying and easily scoops them up in her arms.
I'll see you later, Saki. Nakai.
She gives a small nod in our direction and turns around to head back to the building. She seems... nice.
She's in the band with me. We've been friends for a few years now.
What exactly did you tell her about me?
Nothing.
I got a damn bug flying around right now.
I didn't say anything except that you were a new student to help me out the other day. That's all. I swear.
I don't think I believe you. But I don't think I'll be able to prove it.
Oh, come on. Don't be like that. Besides, Chisato saved us some time. Now we can go get breakfast.
Ugh. For the third or fourth time this week, I feel completely dragged along by events that are out of my control. You'd think I'd be getting used to it by now. Where to? The cafeteria?
There's no place else, is there?
I'm the new guy. You tell me.
Nope, there isn't. Shall we?
Lead the way. Oh, perfect, actually. I was waiting for one of these. I was literally waiting for one of these. There. The perfect place to end off. Right at the end of a scene. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Alright, alright. Oh, that's still a little low from when Zusi was in frame. There we go, that's better. Alright, yeah. There's our first little taste into a Katawa Shoujo mod. I'm gonna be honest, I'm digging it. I'm actually digging it. I'm intrigued. I like it. I'm liking it so far. The only downside I have to say for it, though, is...
Yes, we all agree. Baron is an idiot.
Well, I mean that. And also... also just kind of the lack of music at times. That's just kind of the one thing that's really throwing me off. There's just a few too many points where there's just no music at all. That's one tiny complaint I have right now. That's it. That's my big complaint right now, and it's not even that big. It's a little too quiet at times. I need more music, which is fine. They're still working on it. They could add more in later. You never know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. It definitely does still capture the feeling of the original game. It captures the feeling of the original game still. Obviously, that was the intent of the fan fiction, and now that it's been put into visual novel format, it just worked out that much better. So far, so good. Oh my god! Thank you for playing that super chill. Fucking Yumiko monkey. Oh my god. It's not coming back for next Variety Week because, let me get our new schedule up. Unless I already have it up. No, there it is. I think that's the correct one. Well, it's the one with, it's not the correct one. Hold on. One moment. I forgot I updated it again after that. Shite. One moment. I just gotta download it from the Discord. Real quick. I have too many works in progress. I always like a sound introduction. Well, you picked a good sound. So how you doing? There, now I got the correct schedule. So, so tomorrow, we will continue with Act 1 of Learning to Fly. It is literally just Act 1. That's all there is in this mod right now. They're still working on getting Act 2 put in. Because, I mean, it's a lot of work to put that all in and, get the sprites to appear when they do. It takes a lot to program. It's a lot to program this stuff, even if you're used to, using a visual novel. So, Katawa, the Learning to Fly Katawa Shoujo mod is going to be our short little, God damn it, and that happened. Oh, never mind. So, this will be our short little breather before I start the next Grisaya game. This is my plan to do this. Just after I finish Fruit of Grisaya, we'll go into Learning to Fly because I've been wanting to play it for a while after I found out about its existence. So, yeah, we're going to continue with it until that is finished, and then once that is done, we will move into the next Grisaya game. So, yeah, tomorrow, 6 o'clock, will be more of this. We'll just continue right from where we left off and continue on into this mod. Continue more of Act 1, and potentially, depending on how I'm feeling, maybe finish it tomorrow night. Who knows? But then the rest of the week, Monday, we have, we're going back in the morning to SD Gundam G Generation Genesis, moving on into the next storyline there. And then at night, we will have our Digimon Adventure watch-along in the Discord. We'll just continue with the next, 3 episodes or so. Tuesday will be Gunpla and Chill, where I finally build the Heavy Gundam, Mochi's Machine. God damn it. So, that'll be nice. That'll be nice Tuesday. I'm looking forward to this. Wednesday, no stream because it's that late work day, so can't exactly stream when my shift starts. Like midday and ends after 10. Thursday, however, yeah, I have that right. Thursday will be more G Generation Genesis, and then at 7 that night as well, I'm going to have Mochi on here with me, and we're going to discuss Grisaya together. The little collab we were talking about a little while ago. That is this Thursday, folks, at 7 o'clock. Me and Mochi here together, talking about, just Grisaya. The girls, the routes, the game in whole, our thoughts, feelings, outbursts about it. Gundam vs. Armor Corps, who wins? I don't know much about Armored Core in general, but Gundams are veer more toward the super robot category, especially depending on which Gundam series you choose. So I'd have to go with a Gundam. Also, I believe they're a lot bigger than any of the actual Armored Core machines. Like, Armored Core, I think, is definitely 100% real robot. While Gundam Gundam did start the real robot genre, they are very much, they've been leaning more towards super robot as time goes on. So I would have to give it to Gundam. That's just me, though. I could be wrong. Again, I don't know much about Armored Core. It's just from the stuff I've seen. As far as I know, Armored Core doesn't have psychic pilots that can predict the future and pull other bullshit out their ass, like making a fucking beam saber as long as a goddamn, you know, like, battleship. Friday, we have more SD Gundam, and then at night we'll be continue with the watch-along. Why are you sorry, Mochi? Dude, it's alright, man. It's okay. It's gonna be there. The VOD's gonna be there. It's all good, man. It's all good. And then Saturday will just be a Discord watch-along, because that's my off day. That's just my day off from actually streaming. No worries, no worries, no worries. From what we played so far, it was pretty good. It's pretty good so far. I'm liking it. It's definitely got the feel of it. I'm liking Saki as a character. Like, she's actually a pretty good character, how she's written. And Hisao, pretty much before we ended, the dude kind of had another one of those, had that moment where it's like, just kind of, he got into his own head about things. Just how, you know, just thinking about his situation and all that. Yeah, so, yeah, that's gonna be it from me for tonight. Again, I'm going to be back at about 6 o'clock tomorrow to continue with Learning to Fly. Again, there's the command to show the, where the mod I got is. So it's Katawa Shoujo Stories Beyond, and also the original fan fiction that that mod is slowly starting to adapt. I believe it is also up on fanfiction.net as well. They posted it there as well, which is probably just an easier way to read it. Just because you don't have to scroll through pages of blog post as well, talking about the story and talking to the author. Good night, man. Can't wait for a collab. Yep, Thursday, man. Thursday, our first collab. Talking about good old Grisaya. Looking forward to that. I highly doubt it. Yeah, I'm the only one using a tag for Katawa Shoujo. I figured as much. Yeah. Yeah, I figured as much. That's fine, though. That's totally fine. So, yeah, thank you, everyone, for, you know, watching, commenting, and lurking. I appreciate it very, very much. So, again, 6 o'clock tomorrow, continue with Learning to Fly, see where this takes us. So I hope everybody has themselves a great rest of their night. I'll see y'all next time.